Mr. Katz is a true leader in trade issues in the United States, a very distinguished career, including advisor to successful campaigns of the Carter and Clinton presidencies, and a few unsuccessful campaigns we won't talk about. Oh, and also Obama, I'm sorry, okay. That was a very successful campaign, 2 times over. Mr. Katz is currently with the Center for the Study of the Presidency and the Congress. I was also very excited to find out he's a former adjunct professor at the Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies, from which I have my master's degree in international economics. However, my very tenuous understanding of supply and demand curves can't be blamed on Mr. Katz, as he was not one of my professors. So anyhow, we want to have a very informed debate about TTIP. I won't bore you with my usual talking points about what a fantastic opportunity that is. We do think it is a great opportunity. We know that there are pluses and minuses, but we'd like to see a very informed debate, because we think that those pluses far outweigh the minuses, and that if the electorate and your elected representatives understand all the positives and the negatives, at the end of the day, they'll understand that this really is a once-in-a-generation opportunity for both Europe and for the United States, and this can be a win-win for both of us.
I'm going to start by mentioning that I grew up in Pittsburgh, because I think number one, there's a substantial Slovak community there. Number two, my father happened to be in the steel business, very small steel, he didn't make big steel things. But I had the opportunity to see, as I grew up in Pittsburgh, how other countries' steel industries outcompeted us, and how people lost jobs, had to be trained to new industries, how the federal government sometimes helped them, not always as much perhaps as they might have. And in a way, I think that's a metaphor for our discussion today. In my view, there's no question that citizens in your country, in my country, and all over the world have been and will be helped enormously by lower trade barriers. We have more choice, we have lower prices for that choice, we avoid inflation, and we also have, on the plus side, job opportunities as our economies each become more specialized on those things that we're most competitive in making. On the other hand, as in the Pittsburgh case, there are people who lose from trade. And my own view is that when governments adopt a policy of trade liberalization for the benefit of the most, they also have a responsibility to help those who may be hurt by those policies. You have a European Globalization Fund, as I understand it. We have a Trade Adjustment Assistance Act. These sometimes work well, sometimes they don't work as well as they should. And we also, both in the US and the EU, have very open debates about these subjects. And I think that's a good opportunity. A question should be raised. Sometimes, though, it's a little difficult for the business community to come forward as much as it should to tell the story of the benefits. This is partly because business, particularly where business has not yet been so active in public debates, has a tradition of keeping a lower profile, keeping its business affairs private. But my hope in coming here is that by telling a little of the story, it may contribute to a public environment where business is more proactive.